Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. I've been off the bike for a couple days. The hill interval work that I recently began is starting to pay off. I'm starting to lose a little bit of fat off my belly. I'm feeling good, and I want to do extra and test myself on today's group ride. The question is, how will I do it, and what effect will it have on me? Evidence of my continuing improving climbing form came at this part of the ride. Ernesto, who's a little over half my age, is a big guy, but he's a powerful guy. He was able to pull away from our group on this first long low-grade climb. I was able to bridge the gap, stay on his wheel where I recovered under pressure, then take over the lead to the top when he had me pull through. Similar situation happened on the 9-mile undulating climb that leads to the bottom of the main climb we were going to do on this ride. After I take my pull, Ernesto adds to his wattage and pulls away from the group. This time I decided to be patient and see if we could catch him on the next small climb. The two riders in front of me are succumbing to the pace set by Darren, who's leading the chase. I bridge up to Darren and then hold his wheel, thinking that he's going to be able to close the gap as he's getting closer and closer to Ernesto. After Darren cut down some of the gap, he had to slow down because of his effort. That's when I took off and chased to make contact. It took a full 6 minutes to catch him, and when I finally did, my job wasn't done yet. I now had to recover under stress. And while I did recover, the stress never went away. We put everything into our pulls to put each other into the hurt locker. Finally, on the steepest part of the last climb of this undulating section, I was not able to keep pace and lost his wheel. While I was disappointed that he was pulling away, I knew that I couldn't do this effort just 2 weeks ago, and the climbing wasn't done yet. After a little more climbing, we get to the start of the major climb. This major climb starts off with a 1.75 mile steep section that you're seeing now. Because of the diversity in climbing abilities and the ensuing 1 mile false flat section, we quickly regroup at the top of this climb. At that quick regroup point, Eric and Ernesto turn back home, and it's just myself, Darren, and Robert. It was here where I decided what the extra I was going to do in this ride was going to be. Since my main climbing partner wasn't here, Robert was a punchy, flatland sprinter type, but Darren was pretty much evenly matched with me in the past with climbing, I decided to do some intervals. I would do 2 sets of 3 by 1 minute max efforts with 1 minute easy spin between each rep and 3 minutes easy spin between each set. The question is, how will this affect me? Am I going to dig a hole for myself? Is it going to affect my Afib situation? I've already done a lot of short and sustained high wattage efforts on this ride. The easy part of this equation is that I just need extra recovery time after this ride. As it turned out, I took 4 days off. Reason being because of weather, and the second being home remodeling project that's going on. Of course, the big unknown is my Afib situation. Is this going to cause me to go into Afib? Not necessarily during the ride, but the day after the ride. Maybe that night. I'm sticking to my parameters. I'm getting a lot of rest, and during my ride days, I'm taking extra magnesium. As it turned out, after the ride and into the evening, I was pretty aware of my heart. What was unusual was on Monday on the way to work, my heart accelerated to about 80 or 90 beats per minute for about 5 seconds. I relaxed, took deep breaths, I even pressed my eyeballs as it suggested. And then I was fine after that. After that second set, I can tell that that worn out feeling was knocking on the door, so I cut it right there. After my legs recovered, I then sustained a strong, steady effort to the top.
He says he's not a rider, but then I found out he had the record for climb to Kaiser.
Oh, he was a Cat 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my, okay.
Yeah.
On the way back down, we ran into a group of triathletes, Cat 4s, and strong recreational riders. This group was stronger than I wanted it to be. I can remember sitting in the line and thinking, man, it'd be so nice just to pull out and cruise on in. Unfortunately, I'd be missing the e-ticket back to the car. Unfortunately, on the last little kicker we call Crybaby, this happened. Ay, ay, ay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that little bell to get notified about the next video. And remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.